All right, folks, I have what I think is a pretty decent vehicle, especially considering the price I'm going to sell it for and how great this thing runs. This is a 2001 Dodge Grand Caravan. Let me start her up for you. And this, I have to say, this vehicle really surprised the heck out of me. You know, it's got, well, let's go to the odometer. It has 187,751 on the miles. You know, so for a 13-year-old car, it's not ridiculous mileage. But I've put, as you can see, I set that every time I start driving, almost 600 miles on this thing. Now, keep in mind, I can drive anything I want here. I have tons of cars that I can choose to drive. But for some reason, this thing ran so good, and I liked it so much, I just drove the heck out of it. So I can tell you, this is a fantastic running vehicle. As you can see, there's none of those check engine or warning lights on. I mean, obviously I have the rear hatch open, you know, and I don't have my seatbelt on, but other than that, this thing runs fantastic. Air conditioning, ice cold, radio works, I think. Yeah.
To friends that I have are
let's tune in a real radio station here. I thought I had that set. Yeah, I did. There you go. So, as you can see, that works. As far as I know, everything in this car works. Cruise control, tilt, horn, there, wipers, no problem. I've driven it in the rain plenty of times. Rear, let's see, right side window, there's only these two that are power, and I'll show you the back ones in a second. Here's your driver's window, of course, works exactly as it should. Mirrors, let's see, do they work? Yep, mirrors work, as you can see, and I'm setting this up so you can see. We'll do the right vent. If you look in the mirror, you see the vent out, open, and close. Let's go to this side. This mirror, as you can see, works exactly as it should. And we'll do the left vent. Now keep looking in the mirror. Let's see. There you go. Open and close, no problem. It's got the compass, and of course the temperature, which is 63 as you can see today. Now, obviously nothing's perfect. So you'll see as we go around the vehicle, the interior, we cleaned it up as best we could. It's not bad. I mean, for the mileage, actually, the seats are in terrific shape. But the body is not in the best condition. That's about the only negative thing I can really say about this vehicle. But you know what? If really what you're interested in is a nice, great running, reliable 7-passenger vehicle, this would be the one for you. All right, look at this. Here's your driver's seat. Yeah, it's compressed a little bit, but overall, you know, not bad. It does have some dog hair in it, which we tried really hard to get it out, but there's just some stuck in there. So if you want to go at it with a roll of tape, that's up to you. And of course, here's your floor. It's always had, as you can see, the factory floor mat in there. Put that back. All right, now we'll do the outside and the tires like I always do. All right, I got my little handy dandy gizmo here. It tells us what our tread depth is. All right, so let's do, this is your left front tire. Let's see here. There, and we got, looks like 5/30 seconds on that. So a little less than half. The typical passenger car tire is about 12-30 seconds brand new. Here's your rear tire. And that one is significantly better. That one's almost 10-30 seconds, so they must have changed the rear tires pretty recently. All right, and here's your right rear tire, which looks exactly like the other side, so I expect that to be around 10-30 seconds. Yep, it's exactly the same. And I'm sure the right front is going to be the same as the back, or as the other side. So I'm going to guess that's going to be around 5-30 seconds or thereabout. Now a little bit better, maybe around 6-30 seconds. Okay, as I said, it's not a beauty queen on the outside. It's got numerous little dents, dings, scratches, as you can see, you know, on it. It does have a spot, which I'll show you is a little rusty, but that when we get to it. Here, of course, is your passenger side. Inside the van, you can't tell what it looks like on the outside. It's actually pretty darn nice in here. Here's your headliner, so you can see, oh, it has front and rear air conditioning, which works great. Here's your front passenger seat, as you can see, very nice. Here's your door jamb, right front. There you go, and we'll do the door frame. And I do this because I think it's important that you get all the information that you need to be able to make a good decision. As you can see, nice and clean down there, no rust, no issues there. All right, here is, now as you can see, I'll step back. It does have the deep tinted glass. It's got, as you can see, the full roof rack with crossbars, which I think this is an important feature to have on a minivan, especially I used to take these things and drive to Ohio all the time, and I'd love having a roof rack because I could put a cargo carrier on there. Alright, let's open this door up. And here we go. You can check out, here's your back. There's your back seat. Oh, it does have the quad seating package. You know, it is a 7-passenger, but it's got the 4 captain's chairs, which is the most desirable setup. And as you can see, it's got the factory floor mat in the middle, and it actually has the factory floor mat in the back, so that's cool. Go through here, as you can see. There's the door jamb. There's the door itself. All right, now we'll close this up, and this is where it starts to get a little bit ugly. As you can see, we put a little paint on there because those were just some heinous scratches there. And you might want to take care of this as quick as you can. There is a little bit of corrosion there. The door, as you can see, opens and closes easily. There's some scrapes and whatnot, but again, actually, if you step back from the van, it's not completely horrible. But again, it's not a beauty queen either. And I'm not even going to represent it that way. All right, now we'll come around to the back. Here's your back door jamb. The bumper's got a couple rough spots on it. Now these chairs are all individually removable, so you can take them out and turn this into a cargo van if you want. That's one of the beautiful things about these minivans, is they're so useful. All right, and here of course is your rear bumper. You know, it's got a little bump there. Come along. A little crack there, a little bump there. Take a look underneath. Oops, fogged up the lens there, sorry. From the exhaust, sorry about that. All right, we'll step back. Oh, here, we'll do your door. And as you can see, pretty clean, decent condition, deep tinted glass. Rear defogger, I believe it's got, yep, it's got the rear wiper. As you can see, oh, this is a Dodge Grand Caravan Sport, whatever in the world that means. I know it was just a model. Nobody has to tell me, I know actually, but anyway, here's your left rear quarter, which is in pretty decent shape. It's got one ding and a scratch right there. Here is your left side rear passenger door. It's got a scratch and a couple little dings. Like I said, not a beauty queen. There you go. Here's the inside. Close this up. Driver's door's got a scratch. I mean, a lot of this stuff can be taken care of with a little bit of the right color touch-up paint. It would actually look a lot better, but again, I can only afford to put so much money into these less expensive vehicles to keep the price down for you guys. So I have to be careful what I spend on, and I figure something like taking care of a scratch, that's something you can either live with, because it doesn't affect the performance of the vehicle, or you can fix it. It's your choice. There you go. That's underneath. Okay, and then moving along to left front fender. Got a tiny little ding here, and that's about it. Actually, the left side looks a lot better than the right. And as you can see, it's got nice clear headlights. And the front of the vehicle down low is surprisingly in good shape. Take a look underneath. And of course, the heart and soul of any vehicle is the engine and transmission. I really like the setup on this vehicle. It's got the 3.3 liter V6, which I know is a very good, long-lasting, reliable engine, and the 4-speed automatic transmission, and you get a very decent compromise of power and economy, surprisingly. Now I'll rev her up for you. Obviously I was hitting the rev limiter, but you could hear there was still no high rev knocks. There's no smoke coming out of the back. There's no valve train noise really to speak of. This is just, like I said, a really great running car. You know, when you're dealing with these older vehicles like this with the higher mileage, yeah, I like them to be in nice shape, you know, cosmetically if I can. But really what's really important on this thing is that it runs great. And you're going to see that when we take it for the test drive, how good this thing really runs. And I don't normally put this much mileage on one of my, you know, higher mileage older vehicles, but this one just runs so good. I love driving it. And should you live in New Jersey, you get the benefit of this. That's right, an inspection sticker valid until July of next year. So you have well over a year, probably a year and several months before you even have to worry about getting inspected. But now I'm going to show you how great she runs. All right, folks, we're going to take it for a ride now. There's two things that I failed to mention that I probably should have. One is this van does have a power driver's seat, and it operates exactly as it should, all positions. I just tested it. And the only other little negative thing is it's got a slight chip in the windshield, which can be fixed. It's not a fatal chip. You don't have to replace the windshield. Probably about 40 bucks at your local Safe Light place, and they'll fix you right up. Okay, now you saw me start the van before, and it was ice cold. Okay, now you get to see me start it again after it's warmed up. And that's important because you want to see, especially an older high mileage vehicle, start cold and warm, because different things can manifest themselves depending upon, you know, the temperature of the engine. As I said, it's a 3.3 V6 with the 4-speed automatic transmission, and we're going to take her for a little ride. We'll see how she runs. I know how she runs, but I want to show you guys. We're up to 50 miles an hour now. Unbelievably smooth shifting, smooth riding, quiet. You can hear it's very noise free in here. This is just a super nice little van. Let go of the steering wheel, tracking down the road straight, as you can see, still not touching the wheel. So yeah, this is, like I said, I'm very confident that if somebody bought this vehicle, I bet you could drive this almost anywhere just the way it is. The only thing I would recommend you have to do to this vehicle, actually, change the oil, because that's the one thing I didn't do. Now I do hear a slight, and it's very typical of these older Chrysler vans, a little slight, and I mean really slight, not compared to some of them. In the left front, it seems like a little clunking noise. So that could mean it could be a strut, it could be a mount, it could be a lot of different things, but it's not really severe, so it's not something you'd have to address right away. But yeah, so it's not bad. I'm gonna have to do a K-turn because the UPS truck just kind of got in my way. So here we go. Yeah, like I said, pretty much there's nothing that this thing needs right away. Oh, come on, dude. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna take off. I'll step on the gas a little harder this time, accelerate a little quicker, so you guys can see. Yep, even under hard acceleration, shifts nice and smooth. We're 55 miles an hour right now. Like I said, beautiful ride, great run. I've had this thing up on Route 80, 80 miles an hour, cruising along, no problem. So, like I said, you're gonna get yourself a pretty decent vehicle here. All right, the next thing I'll do for you guys, I'm going to do a brake test, and basically all that consists of is me pulling into the vacant lot across the street from my place. I let go of the steering wheel, I find a patch of loose gravel, and slam on the brakes. Keep your eyes on the steering wheel, and we'll see what happens. Doesn't tell you a whole lot, but I'll try to describe to you how the brakes feel, and etc. Pull in here. Hands off the wheel end. Okay, well, something you guys may not have known, you may know, you may not have heard it, but this vehicle does have anti-lock brakes, and they do operate properly. I could see by the way the wheel reacted, and I could hear the anti-lock brake pump going. So to me, that's one of the most important features you could possibly have in a car. I mean, it does have dual airbags, etc., but I do like the fact that it's got anti-lock brakes, because that's how you protect yourself and your family by avoiding the accident, not hoping the airbags will save you after you get into one. All right, let's do a little recap. This is a 2001 Dodge Grand Caravan, which basically just means it's the longer version of the Caravan. Regular Caravan's about 12, 16 inches shorter, 14 inches shorter. I don't remember exactly. I'd have to go back and look it up. But this one is actually a fantastic running. Like I said, it's not the greatest looking one in the world, but again, the price will reflect that. So whoever gets this vehicle will be very pleased with the deal they got. And that's what I'm about, giving people a good deal. Or a good value, actually, is even more important. All right, let me take the camera off. We'll take one more walk around this baby. And you guys can decide what you want to do with it. Oh yeah, here's your power seat. just to show you it does work. All right. Yeah, step back 10 feet from this angle. Looks pretty darn good, doesn't it? This is what they call a 20 by 60 car. 20 feet away, 60 miles an hour, it looks great. Yeah, this is kind of the ugly side here. But again, not too bad. Okay, so if you need a very reliable, very good running, inspected, 7-passenger family vehicle, this would be the one for you. Thanks.